Hello there, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me for yet another creative checkup, a chance for you to jump in with fellow creatives who want to build a better creative life from the inside out, to answer some of the questions you have, to connect as a God and Gigs community. My name is Alan C. Paul. If you're new to our show, to our platform, this is where we help you to become the creative that you were created to be by applying timeless spiritual principles to temporary creative problems. I'm going to just continue to work out some of the issues here with the mic and with everything. I want to make sure I'm heard okay. Got some funny things happening with my um what you call focus here, so I want to try to fix some stuff even as we get, because we've been off 2 weeks. If you have been joining us for a while, you know that we usually go live every Friday, but 2 weeks ago was Good Friday, perfectly good reason to take a break, obviously. But then the next reason was the next last week we had a workshop. Normally we do our creative checkups on this date, but this time we decided to have a exclusive workshop because we were able to connect with Christian Brim, who is an incredible CPA. I want to talk about him in a second. So that's why you haven't seen us in 2 weeks. Let's see if that helps a little bit. I think that might help a little. All right, so let me get back to making sure I focus on what's important. Also, this time we are actually going live back to Instagram. We have not done this in a long time. I've been only going live to LinkedIn. I've been going live to Facebook, and LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. That's been it. Instagram, we kind of left you guys behind. It was just not the same experience. As you'll see, I can pop things up on the screen here. And we weren't able to do that as much with your comments on Instagram. So I said, you know what? Let's just focus on the places where we can actually have the most interaction. But you know what? Now I'm saying, you know what? We had a little bit of a shift in our arrangement on StreamYard. So I figured I would go ahead and put Instagram back in the fold. So we actually are going live to 4 destinations today. Awesome, Tobias. Good to see you, man. It's been a while, brother. Thank you so much for checking in. Sounds good this way. That's kind of like my first thing, always to make sure that the technical stuff is working. I was about to go live to try to go live on TikTok. Yes, we're back on TikTok. Y'all, I had this love-hate thing with TikTok. I didn't really love it ever. It was just more hate. I just didn't like it. But you know what? There's some friends there. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be super unprofessional right now because TikTok is asking me to declare my age. I don't know if y'all know how old I am. I don't want to tell TikTok how old I am, but I am going to do a quick, let's do this. So I won't have you guys staring at something that is staring at me. Let's go ahead and get this going and ready. And then we can go ahead into our, we can go into our news and notes and just tell you what's coming up today. So today, what's coming up? Number one, we are going to be doing our news and notes, and now that's always where we just go over kind of what's happening in our community. It's. I mean, you know, it's funny. Even as I say that, it seems like, oh, that's just announcements. It's so much more than announcements, you guys. It is like the actual life that this creative community is going through. It's what shows that we're dynamic, that we're not just, doing anything to, we're not just creating stuff just to create it. We are actually doing things to help our community. So this is kind of like your proof of life. When you see news and notes, you'll see that we are actually doing stuff. We're not just out here just creating a platform for no reason. Yeah, Tobias, I agree. TikTok is actually more popular, and that's why even while you guys aren't looking right now, I'm actually trying to see if I can get my TikTok going. Actually, maybe I should let you guys see this part because this is kind of like where, you don't want people to actually know this stuff, but you got to let them know. So let's actually be honest and show kind of what's going on. You see me right here? I'm trying to get my TikTok notifications to go, or sorry, my verification. So I just verified my age. So I guess it says I am 50. All right. So now we're about to go live. All right. So let's see what happens now. We're going to be going live all over the place, you guys. We're going to go live on TikTok. I'm going to go live everywhere. Everywhere you want to be, apparently. All right. So let's get this going. And let's see what happens. All right. So Tobias says this is the right thing to do. We're going to find out. All right. So here we go. We are now live on TikTok as well. Woo. All right. Very, very, very interesting now. So let me tell you what's going on today, as well as news and notes. We're also going to be doing our vital signs, and that's where you might have seen the thumbnail comes from. The thumbnail comes from our vital signs, and vital signs will always be the thing that kind of hits at the heart of the matter, something that we're dealing with as creatives. And for those of you who are watching on TikTok, welcome. We are now doing our creative checkup, and we're doing it live. We're doing it on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Y'all, we're everywhere. Okay. So then we're going to talk about our lab work. So lab work is always going to be the thing that we're working on, something that's actually helping my creative career at this very moment. And so what I'm doing right now is I'm working with Kit, which is my email and my landing page. Is pretty much my operating system for my business. And they are integrating with Canva, which is like crazy easy to do now. And I'm going to maybe show you a little demo with that. Again, Instagram, TikTok, I can't show you the demo. That's why it's kind of a frustrating thing whenever I'm going live on different platforms. You can't show everyone everything. StreamYard allows me to go live and I can show my screen on LinkedIn. I can show my screen on Facebook, and I can show my screen on YouTube. So all those allow the interaction. These other ones that are more like the vertical camera thing, it doesn't allow me to do as much interaction. So if you don't see something on screen, you probably need to go back, check out the replay on Facebook. I would really recommend LinkedIn. I'd recommend LinkedIn, or I'd recommend YouTube. LinkedIn or YouTube. Watch the replay there if you're on Instagram or TikTok, so that you can see what I'm sharing. Because if you can't see the screen, it kind of like, again, takes away from a lot of the experience. All right. So, well, Instagram, you can see the screen, but TikTok, you guys won't be able to see the screen as much. All right. So now, Pamela's here. Good to see you, Pamela. You're not late. You are right on time. This is awesome. I'm so glad you guys came back, because we were 2 weeks off, like I said. So now we're back on, and it's really cool to connect with our community here. Okay. All right. So then we'll go into our consult, and then we will get into, consult will be about older creators like me. I just verified my age. I got all my scruffy. I've been going to the doctors all week today. There's been some crazy stuff going on, y'all. I've never been to the doctor this much in my life. And I guess God is telling me something like, hey, you need to start taking care of your health. So that is going on. We're going to talk about older creators and what might be stopping you. This was a big topic, both in our last podcast episode, as well as some of our polls that we were putting out. So we want to hear from you as well. If you're an older creator, over 35, 40, I don't know what older really means, but it does mean not the people who grew up with the internet, not the people who grew up with TikTok. Y'all don't count. We're talking about people who grew up before TikTok, before the internet was a big thing. What might be stopping you? Because that I'm finding out as I'm looking at our metrics in YouTube is a majority of our people. A lot of our people are the over 40 crowd, and I'm happy to embrace us, but I got to know what's affecting you. Okay. So you got to be honest with me. Tell me what's affecting you in that case. All right. And then finally, we're going to get to our prescriptions, which is the thing I recommend that we do next. All right. So let's jump right in and figure out. I love it. I'm going to post that in a second, Pamela. All right. So our latest creative expert, the reason that we did not have a meeting last week was because, let me see if I can move myself around. I want to get this out of the way. I can't get myself out of the way. Let's do it like this. All right. Oh, well, I'll be fine. So let's go back this way. So our latest creative expert workshop was with Christian Brim, as I mentioned last Friday, because we didn't have our regular creative checkup, but it was worth it because Christian is a certified CPA. He has written the book. I don't have it right in front of me, but it's literally back there, my signed copy from him, called Profit First for Creatives. So he tells you how to reimagine and create the creative career that will be profitable using the methodology of Profit First. And he walked us through this in our exclusive workshop. So members of the Creative Resource Center, that's what I used to call it. I'm going to be changing the name very soon. You're going to see a name pop up. I'm trying out a new name for the Creative Resource Center. But basically, that's where people can subscribe, and you can get all the resources that we share, all the recorded resources for $10 a month. So that is now there. Not only is the Creative Resource or the Expert Workshop there, but also the actual replay is there. And Christian is now a member of our workshop. Oh gosh, think Alan, not our workshop. He's a member of our community. I don't know what's going on with my brain today. I need to drink more coffee. He's a member of our community. Christian has now joined our membership. So if you don't know what that is, that's our app. That's our platform. We have our own courses. We have our own threads. We are basically Facebook without the ads and without the annoying cat videos and without all the other stuff. Okay. We have our own spot on the internet that is just for us. So you can join us. And as you see that little name there, it's usually the Creative Resource Center. You can go to godandgigs.com/resources if you're not a member already. Pamela, you are a member of God and Gigs 360 Gold, so you have access to this. So Pamela, I hope you get a chance to watch this. This was so good, as Semini said here. Such a good workshop on how to really get an income going in your creative business, not just doing it as an expensive hobby. Y'all, I know what an expensive hobby looks like. Expensive hobby, okay? You call it a side hustle, but it's taking out more money than it's putting in. Let's just be straight up real, okay? 90% of us creatives, when we start, we say, oh, we got to pay our dues. We can't, expect to charge a lot. Da, 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 da. Meanwhile, people are literally getting rich doing less work and less quality work. We have to change that mindset. So those of you who are watching on TikTok, I see some of you right now. It's awesome to have you guys. Go to godandgigs.com/resources if you want to watch this video. I know I can't show you the actual screen of the video. You can go to YouTube, which is a link in my TikTok, and you can watch this whole replay so you can see the screen that you're not seeing right now, okay? Because this is new for us. We're not doing TikTok usually. We're trying it out for the first time today. So now, next you want to talk about, we just talked about our workshop. Let's also talk about the new YouVersion devotional that we are putting out. And it has now been live for what? 2 weeks? I think it's been out for 2 weeks now. Came out before Easter. So it's actually 3 weeks. Up to this point, we have had 132 readers, 132 people. And I was so blessed because I got to walk through the plan with some of our people. I was able to do it with them because on the YouVersion app, which is Bible.com, y'all, like there's no bigger app than Bible.com. So for us to be a part of that is absolutely an honor and a privilege. And God has been so faithful to allow us to have a platform there. So on the Bible.com/YouVersion app, you go to Creators Purpose, you will find us, or you can simply look for godandgigs.com/YouVersion. If you're just going there, that will get you there as well. Okay. You can also use godandgigs.com/purpose. Really, we just trying to make sure it's easy to find if you're looking on your web browser. But then you want to go ahead and click the plan, start the plan. It's 5 days long. And then please try your best to complete it. And when you complete this plan, please leave a review, because as you leave a review, it gets those 4 stars, 5 stars. We actually want 5 stars, obviously. And as it gets those 5 stars, and as we get more completions, we have 58 completions so far. So the more people that complete the plan, the more people that will actually help us. Again, just like most algorithms, YouVersion will show it more and more at the top of the feed if more people are completing it. This is tailored to creatives, musicians, artists, makers, entrepreneurs, anyone who has a heart for God and wants to know what is God's purpose in creation. We explored 5 different areas that God uses creation to show a purpose, okay? He uses creation to show responsibility. He uses creation to exhibit character development. He uses creation to exhibit joy. He uses creation. So these purposes are things that we can then integrate into our creative lives. And if you have a purpose beyond just making stuff, now you're going to tap into God's creative purpose. That's the goal of this I'm thinking so fast, y'all. Help me slow down. This is the purpose of this devotional, okay? The purpose of the devotional is to help you connect with your creative purpose by mirroring God's creative purpose as we looked at it in Genesis, okay? So that's where you can find that, godandgigs.com/YouVersion. Also the specific plan, godandgigs.com/purpose, okay? So like I said, lots going on. I'm trying to get through all the announcements as we're talking about this stuff. Local events. Let me do a quick recap of what happened last week. Again, we didn't have a creative checkup, so I kind of catch up and tell you guys all that happened here in South Florida. Again, guys that are watching on TikTok, I feel bad. Please go check out the replay on YouTube if you want to watch the rest of this. We had our South Florida, little typo there, South Florida podcaster meetup, where we were able to connect with Josefa Benjamin and her amazing facility, the Born on Purpose project, which is in Lauderdale Lakes, right down here, Lauderdale Lakes, right here in South Florida. And we were able to connect with these amazing podcasters and just share and talk about, they're not all podcasters, by the way, I should say this. They're content creators, they're creatives. So some of them have shows, some of them do not. And yet they all were able to connect around what they're trying to do to build their communities, to connect with more people. Like, it was just a beautiful, beautiful gathering of people. And we're going to keep doing this. I want to say thank you to Podmatch. You see right there, Podmatch is one of the spearheading organizations that's really sponsoring and helping us to grow these local meetups of podcasters. And again, Alex, the CEO of Podmatch, has never been shy about his faith. So he really wants more of us who have a love for God to be involved in the creator economy and the podcasting industry. So I would highly recommend you guys check out podmatch.com. Go to godandgigs.com/podmatch. You can be, if you're not creating a podcast yourself, you could still be hosting on podcasts, guesting on podcasts, and that will help you build your creative brand. Speaking of which, I forgot. I have to tell y'all this. This is brand new, literally 2 days ago. I got to grab this. Y'all give me a second. Give me a second. I forgot. I did not share this. Where is it? Oh no, where is it? Do I have it? Do I have the photos? This is the special announcement that literally popped like 2 days ago, and I forgot to talk about it because so much is going on. But I don't see it. Oh my gosh, I don't see it. I want to show you the picture of what. Why isn't it here? I'm so sad right now. All right, y'all. I wanted to show you the announcement I have, and I can't show you because I don't know why the picture's not here. Do y'all mind if I pulled out the picture? If you guys don't mind me pulling up the picture, by the way, Pamela, I see you over here. Let me show what you shared. Amen. Glad to be part of the older and wiser community. Do y'all mind if I take a half a second and go get this? Because I want to announce this now. It's coming up like right away. I don't know why it's not showing up in my photos. And I'm sure I downloaded it, but I guess I downloaded it yesterday and it hasn't updated. Computers love you until they don't love you, and then they drive you crazy. All right, so I'm going to go get this. I'm in Canva right now. This is actually a great time for me to show you kind of like what Canva is going to be doing with Kit, but I'm not going to do that right this second. So let me go find this right now. Hold up, hold up, hold up. Y'all give me a couple more minutes. This is horrible for streaming, but I'm going to learn to be transparent, and this is the way it goes when you don't plan ahead and everything's going crazy. Sometimes you forget things. So I'm going to just be honest and pull it up right in front of y'all. All right, I think I got it. And thank y'all who are hanging out with us on Instagram as well. Like I said, I'm doing, we'll wait. Thank you, Pamela. I appreciate you, because I'm like, it's just like falling apart here. Like, things are not working the way I want them to work. And trying to click around is just annoying. But I think I got it. All right, so y'all give me, actually, you know what? I'm just going to share my screen. That's actually faster than me trying to fight with this. So let me share my screen with y'all and see if I can show you the new announcement. Hold up, present, share screen, because that's a lot faster. I'll just jump into Canva real fast if I can. Oh, no, it didn't let me do it. Yo, why? Why? Things have to be harder. All right, here it is. All this better be good. Everyone's like, this better be good. Well, there it is. Boom. That was hopefully worth waiting for. Those of you on TikTok are like, what's going on? I will be speaking at the next PodFest Masterclass for AI and creator tools, which will be on May 9th. The 12th to the 13th. Now, why is that a big deal for you? It kind of goes with what I just said. With Podmatch, with podcasting, with all of these other things, I have been so blessed to be a part of Podfest for years now. They are my family. They are my creator family. And like I just said, for many of us creatives, you might think you need to be a podcaster to be a part of Podfest. Not true. You can simply be a creator, and creators, we're working in audio, we're working in video, we're working with music, we're working with so many areas that are intertwined. And AI is the perfect example of where you just have to know the tools, even if you're not a specifically, going to be building AI bots or building GPTs, custom GPTs, and all the stuff that you've heard of, right? There's so much stuff going over our heads and it's happening all over the place. I am not a techie person. I am not a video person, but I'm going to be speaking on how I'm using AI to help build my YouTube channel. Y'all figure that out. You see what's going on here? I'm learning tools that's making me more proficient in an area that I wasn't that proficient in. And it's helping me build a channel in God and Gigs and other podcasting networks that I work with so that I can actually get this stuff done and do it in a more professional manner and grow my channel. So I have not even shared the URL to this yet, but I'm going to go ahead and do it now because you all need to know how to get there. Actually, you know what? Before I do this, let me just tell y'all, go ahead and message me. Is probably the easiest way for you to get this link because it's a longer link. It's an Eventbrite, and there's a way I can give you a code that will give you free access to this, okay? You can upgrade to get the recordings so that you can watch it live. It's virtual, so you can watch it. It's basically one big Zoom call that you can watch class after class after class on any AI tool that you want help with. You're going to see it. You can see it's 3 straight days. Well, May 9th and then it's 12th to 13th. So it's 3 days worth of information that you're going to get. But what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get in and get out, of course, and you probably want to watch one of these on recording. So what I would suggest is go ahead and upgrade, use my free account, my free code, okay? So you'll get what amounts to $50 off, okay? I'm just going to be plain straightforward with you. You'll get $50 off, and then you can get that discount applied to the lifetime recordings, and then that you will not have to pay, of course, that extra amount just to go. You go, but then you can get any recording of any of the tools that you want to learn about. You can watch it literally anytime for free forever because you will have the lifetime recordings, okay? So that's what I would suggest. I would suggest you go ahead. Again, message me. If you need my email, it's simply allen@godandgigs.com. Okay, that's the easiest way to get there. So let me actually put that in because again, you can message me if you're on Instagram, all these other things, and I can send you the link. It's a longer link. I have not made a URL for this yet. Okay, so just hit me at allen@godandgigs.com. Ask me, say, hey, I want to go to Podfest Masterclass. I will send you the link to the actual event, okay? You use my code, and then you get the upgrade. You go ahead and pay for the upgrade with that discount to get the recordings to any of these tools that there's a masterclass on. Because I'm telling you, like, I've learned so much from Podfest. Like, every time I'm in a class, I get a little wrinkle or something that makes everything else so much easier. So I 100% recommend you guys join me there. But yeah, that was the announcements. Thank you for waiting. I know we're almost 30 minutes in and we're still talking about announcements, but that was worth the time. Okay. So last announcement, I promise. Last one, I promise. You're going to be tomorrow. You only have a little bit of time left for this, but we're holding out hope for some of y'all that might want to join us. We are doing a Power Up Your Podcast Vocal Health Workshop tomorrow, May 3rd from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. here in Pompano Beach with my friend Melissa Gracia Chisholm. She is the CEO of The Voice Rehab. She has worked with some of the best and biggest names in music and radio and TV to help them rehabilitate their voice. And she's going to help us podcasters, 15 of us here in South Florida, to power up our podcast, to get vocal techniques. As you can see, even me, as I talk, I got to be careful because I can talk on my vocal fry area, like right there. And I have to learn to use my voice carefully so I don't lose it. Your podcasting voice, your YouTubing voice, no matter what you're doing, guys, you're communicating, you're using your voice every day. And if you're not using it correctly, you can develop problems and patterns that will mess up your voice. And you can improve your voice by using better techniques that Melissa will be teaching us. you can go to alancpaul.com/powerup. Alan C. Paul, I'm going to go ahead and put that one in the link as well because I don't have the banner for that one. If you want to get it, but this is very short, okay? This is, if you're watching this on replay, it might be too late, but I'm going to give you guys one more chance at it, all right? So alancpaul.com/powerup if you want to get tickets to that, but this is local to South Florida. However, if you're interested in us doing this virtually, which we had a lot of people, oh, it didn't go live on Facebook. Sorry about that, but y'all heard it, right? alancpaul.com/powerup. If you are interested in coming locally or can't come locally, but you would like to have something like this virtual, please put in the comments, put voice in the comments. Because if you put voice in the comments, that will tell me that there's interest in this type of event. Vocal health and podcast strategies combined, vocal health and podcast strategies. If you would like to have that as a virtual workshop, put voice in the comments. I'm just going to watch this for the next 24 hours if you're watching on replay, because Melissa and I discussed this even today, like on text. We were like, we really can't do a lot of people in a in-person format. And even though obviously as Melissa, as a medical professional, wants to see people live and actually hear you talk and like be in front of you and be able to do the scope and do all that kind of stuff with your vocal cords, if we were to do this virtually, it could possibly still work because we could just do it via Zoom and we could listen to your voice that way. And I can give you my podcast strategies that way. So if you're interested in this, again, whether you're watching on YouTube, on whatever it is, comment voice. Voice is your way to vote. Okay. So if I see like 6, 7, 8, 9 voices, that will be my indication that, oh, we should probably do a virtual workshop of this Power Up Your Podcast workshop so that people know they have access to a class on vocal techniques, how to protect your voice, how to profit from your voice, how to project your voice the right way, and how to use podcast strategies that will grow a show, that will grow a YouTube channel, and that will allow you to profit from your voice. So again, if you're interested in that, this is not the actual official announcement that we're going to do it, okay? I'm not promising this. Melissa and I just talked about this. So if you're interested in a virtual workshop, the one that's being advertised is the one that is Saturday, tomorrow, as I'm speaking. So it might be already passed if you're watching this later. But if you want to do a virtual version of this, comment voice, okay? And then I will know that you guys would like to have that, all right? Once again, my friends on TikTok, I see y'all joining us. Thank you so much for joining. We are going live on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. I'm sharing my screen on those particular platforms. If you want to watch what I'm talking about and you can't hear me, you can hear me, but you can't see me. You're like, what is he talking about? Go to our link in our TikTok, tap on the YouTube. You can watch it, and then you will see the screen that I am now sharing. Okay? Good to see you, Wilfredo. This is awesome, man. Awesome to see you, bro. I've been checking you out over there on Stuck in Your Mind podcast. Okay, so Wilfredo says voice. There's one vote, okay? But I need more votes than that. Be straight up with you. It's a lot of work to put together these things. So Wilfredo says, I will definitely do this for Wilfredo. Wilfredo, you need to meet Melissa. She's amazing. She's a fellow a woman of faith. Like, yeah, we got to stay connected to all of this. But those of you who want to have the vocal workshop, you need to comment voice. That way I'll know. All right. We are 30 minutes in, y'all. This is maybe because I'm having a coffee, maybe because I was off of it. But we went 30 minutes in news and notes. That's crazy. So give me a second. I'm going to do a quick little snippet to get a break. And then we're going to get into our, what are we doing next? We're going to get into our vital signs. All right, here we go. What should you be chasing? That's our question for today in our vital signs. Should you be chasing money or chasing mission? Now, even as I share that, I would love for you to put in the comments, which one do you think is more important? Is this a trick question? Kind of. It's kind of a trick question because I know as soon as I say that, some of you will say what I know the phrase is, the cliche. It's also true that money makes a mission possible. I heard that from our friend Shane Sams, one of our amazing gurus and teachers that actually helped us build God and Gigs 360 because of his discussions, his Flips lifestyle blueprint. He helped us get our stuff together, and that's one of his mantras. Money makes the mission possible. But I'm talking about whether or not you should be chasing one or the other first. Which one should you be chasing first? So I'm going to look in the comments even as we discuss, because I really want to know whether you believe money is the first thing you should be looking for as a creative or mission. So first, I don't think I need to define money, but I do need to define mission. As you just saw in our last discussion, we've been talking a lot about purpose. We've been talking about the creator's purpose. We did an episode with Josefa Benjamin, who is the Born on Purpose CEO and founder. We talked about how purpose is what God has put you here to do, right? So you might ask, okay, well, what's the difference between purpose and mission? Well, this is the way I would define it. Purpose is what you're put on earth to do. Mission is who you're on earth to do it for. Okay? Mission for me always involves people. You can think of missionaries, right? The word meaning to be sent. They weren't just sent to like a random place where there were no people. Anytime there was a mission, there were people involved. They were sent to a person. They were sent to a group. A military mission is to achieve a certain objective, a certain thing. But the whole point of the mission is to help or create something for people, right? To do something or to be able to have something be better for them, right? It's not in a vacuum. So a mission for me is a person or a group of people we are sent to affect something I'm doing for someone. Am I clear so far? So I want to know, in this case, do you need to chase money first as a creative? Now, we just did an entire month in our creators community, in our God and Gigs 360 app. We did an entire month in our best year ever, because we're talking about our best year ever. That's our framework for the entire year. We did a framework on monetization. We had Christian Brim come in to talk about profiting from your passion. So there is clearly a need for money in our creative lives. This is the part that I want to make sure I'm clear about. However, there's something about mission that then clarifies why we're chasing or looking for profit or money or for income. Because as the Bible says, if you gain all these things and lose your soul, what does it profit you? If you have a ton of money and have no mission, what is the point? And again, I hear people in the back saying, you have to have money. Too many people are chasing their passion. They don't actually have a business. They're not really creating any kind of value. I get it. But I think it's so important that if you don't know what the mission is, you won't have a real goal for the money, even if you get it. If you create a service, and this is something I'm being super transparent about as I'm sharing, I am trying to build more income in my business. Yes, I am not simply relying on my performance income as a musician, my gig income, to support my podcast. That has been the case for many years. I did not try to build the income levers of God and Gigs and Paul Creative Solutions. I was like, I'm just going to work, and this will be the passion project, and then I'll support it with my music. But that's robbing from Peter to pay Paul. So there was a need for me to reform my mindset in terms of business so that money was an object. But my mission never changed. My mission to help creators, musicians, artists to transform their creative lives from the inside out by applying timeless spiritual principles to temporary creative problems, that gives me a reason for the money. So now if I chase the mission, I have a place for the money to go. If I have a mission, I know why I'm trying to fund the mission with the money. So I believe, and I'm going to make my stance and I'm going to stand on it, that mission has to go first. You must chase your mission, or at least define it so that you know where the money will go. And then maybe you earn the money in a totally different way. I am a hybrid creative. I have a full-time job as a creative. I also work on my own as a creative. So I am a hybrid. I get much of my income from a standard 9 to 5 style lifestyle, but I also gain some of it from my freelance lifestyle. So wherever I go, whichever way I do this, I am still funding my mission, which is to help creators, artists, and freelancers, again, to transform their lives from the inside out by applying timeless spiritual principles to temporary creative problems and to help them thrive in life and business. That mission hasn't changed. You, as you're listening and watching this, are part of my mission. For me to help you and for you to help yourself in your own mission, we need money. So the monetization focus that we did, why you need to go check out that workshop with Christian Brim, why you need to join us at godofgigs.com/resources and be able to get access to that. Or you can even join Pamela and Gut 360 Gold, which would be even more awesome. So you can join us over there. Okay, let me get that link up real quick. I just want to make sure you guys can see it. Let's just do the whole link. Membership is the way you get to either one of those. Okay, godandgigs.com/membership. So you can check out God and Gigs 360 Gold, which is our live coaching, or the resources, what I like to call now the Christian Creatives Companion. That will be for the recorded information. Okay, so live information is Gold. Companion, Christian Creative Companion, that's going to be our recorded. Does that make sense? So either way, guys, whichever one you choose, I want you to be very clear about chasing your mission first, defining your mission, and then defining how will I fund that mission with the money I need to earn. It's a great way for us to finish off the month of April. Now, in the month of May, our focus will turn to time management and systems. How do I now form my life in a way that I can now create a very, very structured and strong way of my disciplines, of my attitude, of my way of approaching my business as a creative, the way God would have me do it, so that I can then have good vision, I can have clarity, I can continue to create my community, which was March. I'm going right through the months. So spiritual clarity was January, then vision was February, then community was on March, and then monetization was April. And as you can see, we're just walking through what makes you have your best creative year ever as a faith-focused creative. So mission first, then the money funds the mission. I hope I was helpful. Let's check out some of these comments. Pamela says, as a faith-based creator, I think it depends on motive. A lot of people chase money without a servant's heart. I absolutely agree. And by the way, let me check over here because I have not checked Instagram at all to see if we got any comments here. If you're checking on Instagram, I will check on the comments as well. I apologize. I have not been able to check because we have a lot of different places to look at now, so I cannot see all of them at the same time. I would agree, without a servant's heart is a key word, Pamela. If you're not having an attitude of service, which is the anagram that we use for the God and Gigs blueprint, stay connected to God, establish your priorities, respect the business, visualize your goals, invest in your craft, challenge yourself to grow, evangelize through your gift. That spells out service for a reason. If you don't have a service heart, doesn't matter what you earn or how popular you are, what a great creative you are, you're not going to impact anyone. So I agree. Wilfredo says, I can always make money, but it took me 44 years to discover my mission. Bro, that's real. That's real. If you're watching on Instagram again or on YouTube or sorry, on TikTok, y'all need to see Wilfredo. Make sure you follow all of us as well, those who are friends of us. We can follow each other, make sure we're following each other on all these socials. I 100% agree, man. And then he said mission is the one you should be following first. So thank you so much for that, brother. All right. Let's keep this moving. We're having a fun day today. Let's continue to move on. Let us move on to our next segment, which will be our lab work. All right. This is fun. Talking about Kit and Canva. Now, those of you who have been with me for a while, you know that I have been a Kit user since before they were Kit. They were called ConvertKit back in the day. but now they are simply Kit. And the reason why this is super cool is because most of you, I'm pretty sure, are Canva users as well. Like I haven't met anybody who has never used Canva. There are some people who are not like fans of Canva. I get that. But for those of you who are using Canva all the time, this integration is like chef's kiss. The fact that now in Kit, my email service provider creator of all of my landing pages and so on, and my everything I build inside of Kit. And yes, I've been tempted to join other things, I'll be honest with you. But every single time I'm about to go away, I'm like, this has all the things I need. Why would I switch to another mail service when I have everything I need right here inside of Kit? And I have an incredible suite of tools that are integrated and they're always improving them. And one of the ways they just improved it is through Canva. So if you would like me to do a tiny demo to show you how these things integrate, I will be glad to. Just put, what should we put in the comments? Put demo in the comments. If you want me to put a demo of showing you Kit and Canva and how I use it, put that in the comments. That'll help me realize that you actually want me to do it. Because that will help me again. I don't want to just do something that you don't want. Right away, Pamela said demo. All right. So I think that's one vote right there. All right. So give me a second. I got to pull this up. And if anybody else, if you're watching live, I'm also watching over here on, oh no, I just forgot. I just said demo and now wait, can I sneak in another way? Y'all give me half a second. I said demo and now I realize I'm going to have to figure out another way to do it. You know I like your spontaneous demos. Yes. Hold up. Yep, I see. Okay, y'all, we got to make this work. Once again, y'all, this is super live. This is like happening in real time. And I hate to make y'all wait, but I just realized I got to click a whole bunch of stuff to open. I got to open up these things. I literally got to look into I got to try to get things to open and verifications and stuff. And anytime I do this, I'm like, oh, I forgot that this takes a lot of work to do it correctly and sign in at the same time, which I can't do when my phone is over here. So that was part of my fault. I shouldn't have said demo and then realized that I was going to have to do something else. Let me just see. Maybe it's going to let me in without me doing all this other stuff, but I doubt it. We're going to try it though. We're going to try to get in without me going the way that I'm supposed to go and see if it hates me or if it tells me I can do it. Because right now I can't seem to get in because I can't even see my logins. Why are you hiding? Wait, one more time. Can I sneak in the back door? Is it gonna let me in? Wait, y'all, I think I found a way in. Give me a second. This is not the way I'm supposed to do this, but I'm doing this for you because I love you guys. And I just promised you something that I realized I'm gonna have to deliver. Who has a joke to tell while I'm doing this? Let's see. Wait. Let's see if I got in. Oh, it didn't let me in, y'all. What the heck? I'm sorry. I don't know why I just did that. It stopped me. All right, so I can't do a live demo because it's not letting me in. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. See, I should have known the computer was going to be mean to me as soon as I tried to do it. As soon as I tried to do it, I was like, watch, it's not going to work because I didn't plan it. All right, so let me try to explain it. And I might have some screenshots I could use since I can't do a live demo. But basically, the simple thing is, as you are building a email inside of your Kit, there will then be a drop down, okay? A drop down will allow you to then simply select, and this is what happened on mine. I should have taken a screenshot when I was doing it, so that way I wouldn't have to worry about this. It was like, essentially, you open up to Kit and it says right away, it has all of your designs. So you no longer inside of Kit, as you're doing your email, you don't have to go in and download your pictures anymore. It was like, oh my gosh, like where have you been all my life? Again, like I wish I could show you in real time, but yeah, it's I can't get to the notifications, and even as I'm trying to get in, it's like hiding stuff. I can't see it. So yeah, it's not gonna let me do it like that. I've been trying, but I'm not gonna keep fighting with it. So if y'all want to see this, you probably again should jump into the Creative Resource Center because I can do a demo there. All right. Forgive me for trying to do it live and not having the capacity to do it. That frustrates me, but it happens. So this is a new integration that's now available in Canva. Please go check it out if you are a Kit user. Pamela, I believe you're a Kit user already. If you're not a Kit user, I would highly suggest you check it out. You can go to godandgigs.com/kit, or just really just go to the entire toolkit. And that's because obviously it goes together, right? Kit, toolkit. Go to godandgigs.com/toolkit. You'll see links to Kit where you can join. You can join for free. The App Store in Kit is what allows you to connect all these tools. So what's so cool about Kit is that now they have integrations with not just Canva, but with Mighty Networks, with Zapier, with Stripe, with every single app you can think of. They are now integrated so that you do not have to switch back and forth between platforms. You just open it up inside Kit and it allows you to get to everything. I do need to do a tutorial for that. So give me time to get that ready and I will get that ready for you guys. Okay. I promise I will do it. All right. Sorry about that little delay. I was trying to get it up, but I could not get it. All right. I'm not going to do the stinger for this next thing. I'm just going to keep jumping because we're almost out of time. Let's go to the consult. What is stopping older creators? Okay, what's stopping older creators from starting your career? We started from this at the beginning, back when Pamela was saying older and wiser, more experienced creators. So here's the poll that I pulled up. And once again, I probably shouldn't do this because we just had the last issue. We're trying to get into another screen. I'm going to try one more time to get to another screen so I can show you guys the poll that we did on LinkedIn. Let's see if I can view profile and get to my polls. Event, articles, posts. And let's see where that is. Show all posts. So I'm going to read the different answers that are possible. Here we go. All right. So I do believe I can show you this without a problem. Share screen, LinkedIn. So here's the different answers that I provided. You guys can see that hopefully. Here's what people have answered so far. If you're a creative over 40, which of these issues has caused you the biggest struggle? Feeling left behind with tech, ageism, being overlooked, changing priorities as you age, or something else? I can see it's a little, let's make it a little, can I make it bigger? I wonder if I can make it bigger on screen so you guys can see it. Give me a sec. Oh, that's too big. Hopefully that's better. Let me know if you guys can see that a little better. So my question to you is, which one of these is the answer? If you're a creative over 40, now pretty much I'm guessing my friends here that that are actually looking at, I'm guessing we will all be okay with saying we are over 40. Okay, because now that I think about it, I think each one of us is over 40. And then I don't want to make anybody feel weird about telling your age, but hey, let's just be honest, all right? So once again, those of you who are watching on TikTok, first time we're going on TikTok, I'm just curious whether or not you guys are over 40. If you are over 40, the comment I'm asking for is, which one of these things are you struggling with the most? Feeling behind with tech, ageism, feeling like that young people are the only one people pay attention to, changing priorities. As you get older, there are things that are more important to you, maybe than going live. There are things more important than trying to sell your art, trying to network. It just feels like a lot of these things are competing with your priorities as you get older. You don't have as much free time. And then there should be maybe some other ones. So if one of those things appeals to you and you're like, that's what I'm struggling with, put it in the chat. And we can talk about it a little bit as we finish up our consult and our creative checkup for today. Grab my coffee real quick. And again, thank you guys. Let me go ahead and check on Instagram. We're hanging out with us. Yeah, I don't get a chance to say hi to everybody on all these different platforms. That's the one tricky thing about going live on platforms, because I can't see everyone at the same time. And I can't see all the comments at the same time. If you're commenting on LinkedIn, I probably cannot see you. So forgive me once again. If you are commenting and you're like, nobody's answering me, it's because I cannot see your particular comments on Instagram. I can't see them on Instagram, but I can't pull them up. And I can't see them on LinkedIn. And if you're here on TikTok, I can see them, but I'm not necessarily sure if I can see your comments yet. But I will go back down and I'll see if I can see your comments. Let's go a little bit further down. I'm going to go, just give me a second. Let me scroll down just to see if you can see comments here. We have a lot of folks that have joined us on TikTok. Wow. All right. Well, this is news for me. I did not know. I did not know that we could do this, but we're going to start doing it now. Okay, guys. So we're going to try this out more. All right. Did not see any responses. I'm curious. None of these affected you guys, I guess. No one felt left behind by tech. No one felt ageism, changing priorities. If that didn't affect you, okay, well, that's cool. Again, I'm not necessarily assuming that you guys couldn't comment. Sometimes people can't comment because they're watching on something else, and then they can't necessarily comment at the same time. And again, if you commented on LinkedIn, I would also want to see it, but I can't get to it right now. But I would love for you guys to think about this for a little bit more. And we're going to keep sharing this inside. Oh, well, I didn't give people time. I'm glad I gave you time, Pamela. All right, here we go. Let me pull this up. Pamela says ageism and priorities. So those two together then. I need to pull myself off the screen. Let's move it like this. There you go. So she says ageism and priorities. I think with seasoned professionals who have years of work experience, one challenge is timing. You may feel left behind if the business isn't taking off as you planned. That's insightful. Let's break this down because I think it's time. We'll go over a little bit if we need to. Seasoned professionals have years of work experience. One challenge is timing. That's why we did in episode 333, are older creators actually missing out on our advantage? Because you can feel left behind if the business isn't taking off as you planned, but you also, as a older professional, seasoned professional, you have more maturity in knowing how businesses actually build. A lot of younger creators, correct me if I'm wrong, have never seen a 10-year plan in terms of a business growth plan. That they don't know. Like they're just like, okay, you start and people start following you and everything just goes smoothly and you just become famous overnight. I think that you're right in that it can be more frustrating, but also we fall into that realm of we understand that no business, technical, creative, doesn't matter, grows overnight. So we have more of an understanding than maybe some of the younger people do. And feeling left behind if the business isn't taking off, like I said, I think that can come from comparison to some of these other types of things where we don't really think about, wait a minute, like no business can just grow like a weed and actually last. And definitely timing, like I said, that's why we did episode 333. I don't know if you had a chance to watch that yet. Let me put that in the comments. GodandGigs.com/333. We talked about, is it too late for older creators to start? Is it too late? We can go back to that one. You guys can go check that out, okay? Because I really shared like my own experience. My profession currently, which is again, one part music, one part podcasting, did not exist. If I felt like it was too late, there was no such thing as a podcast producer role in my church before 2020. There was no role. It didn't exist. So how could I possibly be too late when the actual position did not exist? So until I was 45. Okay, you guys follow me? Like this position, this particular role did not exist when I was younger. So there's no way I could feel like it's too late for me to jump in, because there was no way for me to jump in when I was younger anyway. I hope that makes sense. So I think a lot of our ageism and our worries about ageism comes from the fact that this just did not exist when we were younger. And so we have to, kind of go on that growth curve a little faster than maybe others, because the technology may seem, that's again why I'm teaching at the AI Tools Summit for PodFest. That's why I'm doing this, because I've had to learn these tools like everybody else on the back end in the second half of my life. But it gives me a such a deeper sense of purpose and maturity of knowing, hey, I'm not thrown to the side. I'm still valuable in this creator economy. I'm still have a lot to offer, and a lot that people can't, fabricate from ChatGPT, from just life experience. So I hope that helps you, Pamela, and the rest of us who are over 40 to kind of just get that sense. Okay, yeah, it takes longer. We're not as savvy at the get-go with some of these tools, but it also means that we're not as quick to go over shiny object syndrome. Like, we're not going to try everything just to try it. We're going to give things more time. We're going to give things more, like, we're going to be very, very like measured and wise and disciplined. And we're going to connect with communities like ours. So we're not going to make a lot of foolish decisions where you might move faster, but then you're mad because if you move faster and you take things too fast, you make big mistakes, really, that you could have avoided. Nothing wrong with the risks, but making big mistakes with no help, that's a problem. So what I really, really love about this is the fact is that you can take your age, think about it, apply it to where you are, and say, what are the advantages? The advantages of my age are blank, 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 blank. And then all these things can then apply in your reasoning of how do you build. Again, being straight up with you, God and Gigs, I thought I was supposed to be talking to younger musicians. And then I was like, younger musicians really aren't, like, they're all trying to get into like all these chords and changes. And so that's not me. I don't serve that population very well. That's not me. So my business has changed with who I'm serving. Back to mission, right? My mission is to help creatives, but specifically these creatives who are in the transition of our second career as creatives, our second career as entrepreneurs, our second career, which is, again, kind of more of a gig, freelance, hybrid lifestyle. And it requires a different mode of thinking. It's more substantial. It's more nuanced than just, I just want to go viral on TikTok. Like, that's not what we do. Like, why? Like, we're more sophisticated than that. And I'm even thinking, as I'm talking, I'm thinking of our one lady I love to follow, Jerisa Hawk. Like, I follow her like a hawk. Like, I follow everything Jerisa shares, because she talks about this a lot. She's talking about like the 6 and 7 figure and 8 figure creators and entrepreneurs and professionals, but it's the same thing. My messaging has to evolve because I'm talking to a different group. It's because I've evolved as I've gotten older. So as I've gotten older and I've evolved, I have to share differently. And that implies a different kind of business model that I want to build off of throughout my creative business. And by the way, same thing with music. The way I play is different. I'm an older musician now. So I'm going to have a different kind of approach to how I want to build this creative business in the music side, because I'm not trying to compete with everybody else that's trying to, just go viral. Like, that's not my goal. That's not my mission. I love how this came around. Pamela, thank you for that comment, because it really helped us like kind of tie all this with a bow. But we are over an hour. I do have to get ready for another event that's coming up. I'm getting ready to head off to that. I'm super excited about that. I'm looking over here and seeing some other people that were watching on LinkedIn. So thank you guys for watching on LinkedIn. Didn't realize that I could check on that, but I did check on that. That's super cool that you joined us on LinkedIn. And thank you so much, Pamela, having a message with purpose. That's really, you can see, like, look, that's where we're at now. This is where God is being super gracious to me, that by kind of laying it out just as we're walking through this, he's like helping me see, this is what you should talk about next. This is where people are at. This is what's going on in our lives. Let's be very, very intentional, but let's not be like super overthinky about it. Let's just move to the next thing. So the next thing for us in our best year ever is going to be talking about systems, time management, managing our lives. Again, mindset. How do you like organize it so that you're not so overwhelmed with everything that comes at us while you're trying to build something special for your life, for the kingdom of God, and to bless others as you go through this hybrid freelance creative lifestyle transition from just doing one thing to doing the things that God called you to do. That's what we're trying to get to. But thank you so much for this, y'all. And let's go. Finally, we got to finish this up. Let's get to our prescriptions. What do I ask you to do at the end of this? I ask you to do one specific thing. I don't think I spelled that right. I think it should be guidinggeeks.com/resources. So make sure you get the right. Let me find it. Yes, it should be with an S. So ignore that little thing there. It should be resources. Okay. guidinggeeks.com/resources. That now I wanted to know if you guys like this name. I'm trying out this name, the Christian Creative Companion. I kind of like that way better than just Creative Resource Center. Creative Resource Center sounds like a library. It doesn't really like pop, but I love the Christian Creative Companion because that's really what I want that subscription to be. I want it to be your companion. Anytime you need to find some new information, you go to your Christian Creative Companion and you see, oh, there's a new workshop on monetization. There's a new workshop on spiritual development. There's a new workshop on blank, 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 blank. I go to the Christian Creative Companion and I find it there. And again, if you want to join Guiding Gigs 360 Gold, that's live coaching. That's where we go together and I help you individually. Well, then you get even to upgrade into that if you want to go to God 360 Gold. Okay. But that's what I suggest for you. Go to guidinggigs.com/resources. You'll get the link to, I like it sounds like partnership community. Thank you so much. I do like that too. That's definitely where I'm at. I'm trying to think of how do I continue to build on the creative community aspect, the fact that this is not just information, this is us walking along with you. And so I'm definitely thinking about like using that as I bought the URL like right now, like I just bought it. Like look, let me get that right now before we have a problem. Thank you all for being patient with my little hiccups with the tech and trying to get into apps that I couldn't get into. I appreciate y'all being patient with me and loving us being together. I super enjoy these things. Our new friends on TikTok, if you enjoyed this, let me know. Continue to follow God and Gigs on TikTok. We just started our account, trying to get more active. My name is Alan C. Paul. If you're new, you see me looking up at the camera, guys. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. And those of you on Instagram, those of you who haven't seen us for a while, seeing some of our friends that joined in. Oh, wow. D'Antaniel, Kimbro was there, Serene Christine, Brent Charles was here for a second, Jody Hill. Oh my gosh, you have some friends over here. Shiv was here. What? So y'all were able to check in as well. So if you're watching this on replay, it's super cool that we were able together. But I gotta go, guys. So we are going to head out. So until next time, continue to become the creative that you were created to be. I will hopefully see you next Friday. I believe we'll be on time. We won't have any issues, so we'll be able to continue with our next Friday. Check out guidinggigs.com/podcast for our podcast and guidinggigs.com/info if you want to sign up for our newsletter, the Creative Checkup newsletter, which is a written form of what you just saw. We just do it in a written form. Obviously, the video form is a lot more interactive, but I would love for you to get the video form. The written form, because that way you can get to the links and everything that we're sharing there. God bless you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. And so until next time, continue to become the creative that you were created to be. God bless. See you next week.